Hello and welcome back to another Warhammer 3 video here for today. In this video we'll be going over 5 of my favorite mods. I do use more than just these 5, but these will be the ones I use most often or just happen to really enjoy. And with that, let's hop into the video. The first mod on our list we're looking at is the expanded roster completion by mod author Decomposed. This is a unit mod adding numerous new units for a whopping 10 factions, and the mod is still being actively worked on, adding new units over time. What's nice about this mod, unlike a lot of others, the units themselves aren't that far-fetched and are pretty close to what we already have in the game, such as new weapon variants, lords, artilleries, big monsters, and anything else you'd imagine from a unit mod. And my favorite out of the expanded roster would definitely be for the Chaos Dwarves. They really nailed the aesthetic of the faction, making them more in line with the vanilla units we already have. And that goes for any new units in this mod, like Dwarves having some really cool artillery pieces, or the High Elves with their variety of infantry. So if you have a faction you really like and feel like their roster is a bit lacking, I highly recommend this mod, and it works with most other mods as well. Next up is Mixu's Legendary Lords, made by mod author Mixu, another unit mod but primarily focuses on adding unique factions lords for nearly every single race. Because even though we have about 100 legendary lords on the map already, there is still well over 250 factions in the game, so giving them unique lords makes the world feel a little bit more lived in. This is especially the case when you look somewhere like the Empire, for example, who benefits the most from the mod since a lot of the Empire factions are just reigned by a generic lord who might have a unique name or special trait, making the world feel bland outside the main factions you get to fight. So when a faction gets destroyed or when you confederate them, it feels a lot more like an actual story bit than just getting some free settlements and resources. As well as adding a pirate faction called Mana Man's Blades. They're a horde faction that will hopefully spice up your campaigns, giving you some extra fights. If you ever do get tired of fighting the same generic factions over and over again, I really do recommend this mod, helping the Warhammer world feel just a little bit more lived in. Onto one of the community's most favorite mods, Victory Conditions Overhaul by O_man TFE and Wolfie. This is an overhaul mod that changes the short and long campaign victory conditions and making them to 3 parts, all themed around your factions as well, giving your campaigns a bit more depth than just go and take settlements. With many of the rewards ranging from passive effects for your empire, powerful magic items, vassalize an entire faction, or even a dilemma where you can recruit special lords or get unique choices, as well as unique quest battles that are centered around the story of your objectives, where before the challenges you faced and the rewards you got were very samey. Like for each campaign you need to take a bunch of settlements and destroy a few factions, and all you'd get for it is some hero capacity, which by the time you get that you already have plenty of heroes, so it's really never really worth it to complete those objectives. And for anyone who's an Advent Immortal Empires player, I'd highly suggest this mod since it gives your campaign more objectives, an overarching goal, and you kind of have a bit of story bit in a mode that doesn't really have a story. The next mod we're looking at is Landmarks of Legend by mod author the_Inquisitor, being a campaign mod, adding unique landmarks for every race, giving out faction bonuses, army abilities, regiments of renown, and even special units. Since many landmarks already in game don't give out that many bonuses or do nothing more than produce money or public order, this mod makes landmarks have more of an impact on the game with how varied and strong they are, with a staggering 200 landmarks and over 80 new units / regiments of renown. Also having settlements that become more important depending on how good the new landmark is, and some even cause armies to spawn when building a strong landmark, giving your campaign a bit of a story aspect and a challenge. It's a great mod for giving you and your enemies more variety with units and stacking bonuses. It pairs really well with the new unusual locations, so if you're a fan of that mechanic, this is the mod for you. Before we get into the last mod on the list, I want to add an honorable mention, and that would be Autoresolve Quest Battles by mod author Cigar. As many as you know, quest battles can be quite tedious, especially when you're playing with the same lords again and again, looking at all you Carl Franz players. With this mod, just like any other battle, you just auto-resolve it without needing to spend the time fighting or risk losing the battle. This mod is definitely a must if you play co-op with your friends or just making your campaign more streamlined and help you save time as well. Last but not least, my favorite mod out of any on this list, Recruit Defeated Legendary Lords, made by mod author Smoking and Militus Immortal. This is a campaign mod that allows you to recruit any faction leader in your race after they've been defeated. So let's say you're fighting as the High Elves and you're trying to confederate all their lords that aren't nearby, but they get taken out before you have a chance to make an alliance. When they do get wiped out, a window will pop up giving you 4 options, either to recruit all unique characters and lords from the defeated faction, let another faction have them, wait to make a decision for 25 turns, or just let them disappear off the map entirely. This mod is also good for the more passive players who still want the other legendary lords but don't want to spend the time or resources on trying to confederate them all. But if you want them sooner, or if you don't think you'll be able to confederate them, you can just go around and destroy their faction immediately and get the chance to request their lord you just defeated, very similar to how the Norskins and the Greenskin mechanics already work. This also works really well with Chaos or any other faction with a lot of lords. What's nice is you can also have every lord of your faction in one playthrough without stressing of not getting to use them. This is the one mod I cannot play without. I even wait for it to update during big patches or DLC just so I can use it and play with every lord I can get my hands on. My favorite mod, beyond a doubt. I highly recommend it to any of you who like to use every lord possible in your campaigns and just make it to where your armies are a little less generic. That's going to be it for the video. If you'd like to know more about the mods I talked about or have any others I should check out, please let me know down below. Also, every mod in this video will be in the description. Show them some support. I know this video was quite short compared to others. I do plan on doing more videos covering these mods a lot more in depth and any others that I use quite often. And I have a campaign video in the works, so look forward to that. I appreciate all the patience. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.